All right, our correspondent Akshay Dongre is joining us to get us more. Akshay, we've seen that the Los Angeles protests have escalated, and also how US President Donald Trump has ordered Marines to be deployed in the city, apart from the National Guards who had already been deployed. How do you gauge the situation at present, and how do we expect it to unfold in the next few days?
Well, it's going to unfold now in the courtrooms, Preeti, because what we are hearing is that the governor of California has decided to take the Trump administration to the court as far as the decisions are concerned. Now, what the governor of California is claiming is the federal government is trampling over the rights of the states. Now, United States, it says in the name that it is a union of states, that is 50 states, but that is the basis of the US. So every state has its separate rights, and the federal government has its separate rights, which cannot be trespassed, and that's in the Constitution of the US, which is safeguarded by the Supreme Court. So if Donald Trump makes any decision like deployment of Marines or other security agencies to a state without the permission of the state, then it can have a legal ramification. So that is what the governor is aiming at. But you have rightly said that with more and more security forces coming in, the situation can in fact become worse if there is any kind of incident of violence between as far as the security agencies are concerned, because especially the National Guards and the Marines are units or security agencies that are used for war purposes. They are used for fighting wars outside the boundaries of the US. But if they are deployed inside the US, on the US soil against the US citizens, then it can have not only political but also societal ramifications for the country.
All right, Akshay, help us understand Donald Trump's mind. How do you read it? Because California Governor Gavin Newsom has openly criticized Donald Trump for this move. Added to that, there is domestic opposition as well, which Donald Trump is facing. And the National Guard has not been deployed over the head of a state governor since 1965, and that was at the height of the civil rights movement. Put all this together, we still see US President Donald Trump unfazed and undeterred. How do you read the president's mind?
Well, to understand Donald Trump's mind is no easy task, but from the situation that's unfolding on the ground right now, it seems that Trump has, taken it on his, personal ego when it comes to these kind of incidents are concerned and the protests that are going on. So deployment of National Guards and the Marines is a direct, impact of that, because the kind of, the protests are happening. It also shows the audacity of many of the protesters who went on with arson, who went on with violence inside not inside just LA, but outside of it as well. So the situation remains tense, and it seems that unless stopped by the courts, there is no stopping Donald J. Trump. And even if it is stopped by the court, we'll have to wait and watch on how Trump deals with this, because we have all seen the Capitol Hill incident that took place when Donald Trump lost the election. His supporters stormed in the official
Yes.
buildings. So we cannot for sure say that what is going to happen.
All right, Akshay, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those inputs.